say just one slide on what Area 1 is really all about. And as Jeanette said, well, it's sort of about education, so let me try to put a little bit more point on that. In my mind, Area 1 is really about tying the research that we do to the education, the teaching, the training, and the learning that we do. And Jeanette flashed up a website that had exemplar activities, and there were about 7 or 8 of them in Area 1, and I just put them up here, so including students and the research activities that we do, that's something, and you can have a real impact about how generations of students think about a field, and have that sort of view of the field be really informed by research through textbooks.
It's a great book.
Deborah Eskridin, UCLA, one of the earliest adopters of the textbook. Actually, there are a bunch of people here who use it, and I know of at least one person who doesn't, but that's okay. but you know, again, let me say that I think that one can really touch huge numbers of students through textbook materials and through curricular materials in particular, but I think in particular through textbooks. And I'm really happy to learn that this is a broader impact in every single report I write from now on. I'm going to talk about the textbook. You know, I say up there, it's unfunded and you do it for love because you don't write a textbook because you want to make money. But you do it because you're in pedagogy, you love to write, you love to teach. And again, I've never thought of it as a broader impact, but now that it's counted, I can see it's counted as a broader impact. That's if you're lucky, you can get a 10-year lifespan. And I think the key thing here is sustainability. In 10 years, maybe even in 5 years, you can start to work on programs that are going to persist over the longer term than a 3-year sort of individual smaller PI type grant. And so I just want to wrap up by saying, you know, we're all teachers here, right? So I figure if you take one thing home from this particular talk, this is what it's the next slide I want you to really pay attention to. But this is what I want to talk about. This notion that you go from sort of small, one-on-one, 1 year at a time, highly personalized, highly people-intensive activities, which are great, and we need to do that. But by the time scale, they're relatively short, over impacting many people, so scale, and over the long-term sustainability. And I think it's the things over here on the right that give you that kind of long-term sustainability. So here's my last slide. Tracy talked about changing the world, and I want to sort of talk about changing the universe here a little bit. And you know, a lot of this workshop is about how we can help with PIs, but I want to sort of step back and ask the question, how can we as a community with NSS help broader impacts better? Okay? And what I want to say is that I think we are 1,000 points of light. We all do wonderful things. You read the proposals, you look at the reports that go in, people are doing great things. I really believe that in broader impacts. And the question is, are they sustainable and are they at scale? How do we do things in addition to the personalized one-on-one things? How do we do other things at scale and make them sustainable? How do we fuse together these high-quality efforts that people have put together in broader impacts? I think this is something that impacts all 5 dimensions, not just Area 1 here. You know, some things that I hope we get a chance to talk about is how to link individuals into these longer scale programs so that what we do persists over a longer period of time. I'll put in a shout out to the BPC program and the CPAP program that SIZE has done as wonderful programs that try to start thinking about how to do things sustainably, how to do it at scale, and how to do it more than just one individual PI at a time, how to do that programmatically. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I've got 8 seconds left until the timer goes off, so I'm going to walk off and ask the next speaker.